Okay, so we're going to work on Chapter 6, SAM Project 1A today. So it says in the project description that John Waters works in the sales department of FlexCab Company and that he's creating a database of corporate customers using a series of Excel tables. He has asked you to help him complete the workbook so he can analyze the customer account information contained in the tables using a database functions and conditional formatting. So as always, you're going to download this file and make sure you rename it to 2 before you upload it. And let's take a look at some project steps here. So the first thing it says is in the All Accounts worksheet, apply the following formatting to the range F5 to F27. So let's go over to All Accounts and go to F5 to F27. And it says apply currency format and center the cells. So this is accounting. We don't want to click on that. So we want to just click from our drop down, select currency, and then from our alignment, center it. All right. Apply conditional formatting to H5 to H27. So let's select H5 to H27, so here. Using the 3 arrows colored icon set, and then edit the rule as follows. All right, so conditional formatting. And icon sets. And we got 3 arrows. All right, so we can see what it looks like. We're going to keep this cell range selected because we got A, B, and C as steps, okay? So edit the rule as follows. To edit the rule for this, we are going to go to our conditional formatting again and click Manage Rules. Okay, it brings up a dialog box for us. And what we want to do is click Edit Rule. Now, it says if a green arrow identifies high growth, defined as those with a growth rate over 5%. It says hint, use a value of 0.05 and a number type in your conditional formatting rule. Something to keep in mind here is that if I change the type, it changes the value. So change our type first and then put in 0.05 or 5%. Okay? Now, when we click, it shows when this is less than 0.05, and in this case, it's telling us that yellow is going to be 0. So if I select number, it makes it 0 automatically. Then customers with negative growth rates are assigned a red arrow. So if I click OK and apply and OK, we can see that everything here changed. Okay? So everything below 0 has a down arrow, a red arrow. Everything above 5% has a green up arrow, and everything that's between 0 and 5 has a yellow arrow. All right. So it says apply the conditional formatting to range J5 to J27. Select J5 to 27. Change the fill colors of cell with a value of 1 to light red fill. Okay, so conditional formatting again. We're going to highlight cells equal to a value of 1. And this isn't the right one because it says light red fill with dark red text. We're going to click on it, and it's light red fill is what we want. We want the numbers to remain black, just the box to be red. Click OK. So now you can see that we've done that. All right. So now we're going to get into using the VLOOKUP or vertical lookup function. Okay. So it says that we're going to use in cell I5, so right here, we're going to use VLOOKUP. So I'll type in VLOOKUP, open parentheses. The lookup table function is found in range R8 to S12. Okay. So the lookup value, table array, the range lookup is right there. Okay. Use a structured reference and the lookup value, absolute false value to reference the cells. You will also need to enter false as a range lookup argument. Okay. Excel should automatically copy the cells in the formula. All right. So what we're looking for here is the account type. All right. So lookup value, account type is what we want to grab. Okay. And then we click comma to move to our next argument, which is a table array. Okay? And our table array says is R8 to S12. So I need to scroll over a little bit, and R8, which is right here, to S12. All right, so we can see that we've selected R8 to S12. Let me scroll back over. Now it says that you want an absolute value to reference the cells in the lookup table. Okay, so that's our lookup table, okay? So to make these absolute, I can click between the R and 8, and I can either add the $R, $8, which is just manually adding them in here, or even easier is just clicking anywhere in the S12 and hitting the F4 key, which will add them automatically. I add a comma to move to what's called the index number. So it says column index number. So if I scroll back over to our criteria, we've got two columns. We've got column R and column S. So column 1 and column 2. We want the 0, 5, 10, 15. So we're going to enter 2 for column 2 and a comma. Now it said true approximate match, false exact match. If we're over here, it told us to enter false. So I can click on false, double click false, and it adds it in. Okay. And now I can close the parentheses and hit enter, and it adds everything into our table automatically. Okay. Now, if you don't have the absolute values here, it will move the selection around and won't stay with this box here. And you'll get a bunch of errors that come in here. If that happens to you, go back and add your absolute value references in here by hitting F4 or adding the dollar signs. Okay? Alright, so number 5, enter a formula in cell M8. So let's move over a little bit here because I need to find cell M8. So we're right here, M8. Using the Countif function, so let me start that. I'm going to equals count if, open parentheses. Now it says range and criteria. So it's going to look for the account type of silver. All right, so scroll back over, and I'm going to go to account type because that's the range. Okay, and then type comma, which gets me to my next argument. If I move over this way, you can see that it says account type, and then my argument is going to be silver. Now, we need to put this in quotation marks to make sure that it chooses that. Close the parentheses or hit enter, either one. And you can see that we've counted from this the number of silver. If I click on the one above it, it shows the same exact thing except it says gold. This one says platinum, this one says gold, this one says silver. So I can copy this by just dragging this down, but it still says silver. But to make it bronze, I can just type bronze, and now I have bronze taken care of. And then it says in cell N8, which is right here, use the SUMIF function. So we're going to use SUMIF. Oops. All right. And then it says calculate total receipts for silver customers using the structured references. Okay. So it says use silver as the criteria value. So we can see the range, the criteria, and then the sum range. Okay. So the range is the same. Still going to be here because we're searching to figure out what one we want to look at, and here we're in silver. Okay, so I'm going to comma, open quotes, silver, and then comma. Now the sum range is the total that we're looking for. So we're trying to look for total receipts. So I'm going to come over here and just select total receipts as a column, close parentheses, hit enter, and it shows me sum if the corporate accounts. So basically what it's doing is it's looking here, it's choosing only ones that say silver, and then adding up everything in here that associates with silver. That's it. We can check by clicking above. We can see that the only difference is that this says gold and this says silver. So we copy down, and then right in the middle of this, I'm just going to select this and type bronze. Hit enter, and there we go. All right. Now it says enter formulas as described below. Enter a formula in cell M19. So let's go to M19. All right. It says equal decount. Open parentheses. Now it says database, field, and criteria. So to count the number of customers in the corporate accounts table with a satisfaction rating of 3. So it says use corporate accounts brackets pound all close brackets as the value for the database. So basically corporate accounts is this entire database, okay? So what this means is that I want to type in corporate, and you can see that it comes up, corporate accounts. I'm going to click on that. Open brackets, pound, and you can see that it says all. Returns the entire contents of the table and the data and total rows, so we want that. I'm going to double click to insert it, close the brackets, and comma to move on to my next argument, which is the field, okay? Now it says as the value for the database, satisfaction rating as the value for the field parameters. So you can see that it has open quotes, satisfaction rating. And we want to make sure we spell it correct. But what this does is it's determining satisfaction rating is the column heading here. So it's going to use that as the field, this as a field, and then comma, and then it says the criteria is in range R4 and R5. So I need to scroll over and find R4 and R5. I don't need to use I can close the parentheses, or I can just hit enter. I'm going to hit enter, and it comes back as 12. Now it says I got to do the decount function again for medium and for low. And one of the things that I can do is just copy this down. Now I'm going to copy it to both. But I've got to edit both of these because this is looking now here. So all I can do is I can hover over this box until I get the little 4-way arrows, which means I can move it, and just move it to S4, S5, which it tells me to do, S4, S5, and hit enter. Okay, and then for this one, click on the R6, R7 box and move it over here. Hit enter. There we go. Easy. We're down to number 8. Now it says, let me back over here, sort the corporate accounts table on the account type column by using a custom sort order as follows: platinum, gold, silver, bronze. All right, let me show you how that's done. So what it's saying is we need to order these so they're platinum, gold, silver, bronze, all the way down, okay? In order to do that, what we need to do is go and view the it's a sort order. I apologize. It's right up here, okay? And the sort and filter, custom sort. We're going to click on custom sort, and now it says sort by area, cell values. We're going to sort by account type, all right, because that's what it said, based on the values, and then a custom list. Now you can see I already have it built in here, but I'm going to delete this. Okay, and I'll show you how to build it. You want to make sure you're on new list. And then right here you can see that it's got the cursor, so I'm just going to type in platinum. We need to make sure we spell it correctly. And then once I've got my 4 criteria listed in the way that I want them to show up, no commas needed, you can just hit add and it'll show it right in there, okay? It's selected, so we're going to click OK. We've got this all, and then hit OK. And look, all the platinum's at the top, followed by all the gold, followed by the silver, and then the bronze. All right, so go to the account subtotal worksheet. All right, convert the account subtotal table to a normal range. So we are going to click anywhere in here and go to our design tab. There's a little button that says convert to range. Do I want to convert it to a normal range? Yes, I do. You'll notice that all the little arrows that made it a formatted table are gone. Okay. Now it says select B4 to G27. So let me get B4 to G27 and insert subtotals using the options described below. Okay. So in order to insert the subtotals, we need to find a tool which is located on our Data tab. And it's right over here under the outline box. It says subtotal. Okay? So I'm just going to click on that. And the first thing it says is the subtotal should be inserted at each change to the account type. So at each change, choose account type. Sum. Perfect. Okay, then it says subtotals should be added to the rides and total receipts. So we have total receipts selected. Now we're going to add rides. Then it says the subtotal should include a summary below. Get the summary below. I'm just going to click OK. And what we do is we get the subtotal rows here. Okay, it shows the platinum total of the rides and the total receipts. It leaves out the rest of them because we didn't select them. And it does it for each one of these different things and then shows you the grand total at the bottom. All right. Now it says go to the Platinum worksheet. And from the Platinum worksheet, remove the filters from the table. So we can see that this has a filter because it's got the little filter button here. Okay, so we just left click on that and choose Clear Filters, and it opens everything up. So it says add a calculated column between columns F and G. All right, so F and G. So what we want to do is right-click on G and choose Insert, and it'll just build a new column in there. Okay, you can go back to the Insert tab and do it that way as well, but usually that's the easiest way to do it. It says change the column width to 16.57, so I'm going to hover over, right-click, column width, and type in 16.57, hit enter, and then it says apply currency format to G4 to G6, so G4, G6. I'll go back to home, and I'm going to select currency from the drop down. So G3, this is going to be average fare. And then it says in G4, calculate the average fare. All right, so divide total receipts by the number of rides. Okay. So it says it's going to automatically fill. So what this means is we create a formula or equation, enter, or equals, I apologize, total receipts divided by number of rides, hit enter, and you notice it fills in the entire sheet for us right there. Okay, now it says go to the gold worksheet. And in the gold worksheet, name the table gold accounts. So we can click anywhere on the table and it gives us our design tab. We're going to go here and type the name right up here. No space. So it's going to be named gold accounts. Hit enter. And that means that it's been named gold accounts. Anytime we click on here, we can see it's already there. Anytime on there, it shows up as gold accounts. Now it says add a record to the end of the gold accounts table with the following information. So to add a record to this so that it stays within the table, we need to do something like this. We can't just add the information here. We have to add a row. So we're going to click on 7, right click, and then insert table rows below. Okay, you can see that it turned to the correct green. It kept the formatting here for our average fare. So let's add the data. So we got 8 Hogan Markets, 2010, east of downtown. Now, as soon as I hit E, it automatically populated. So tab over, and it keeps all the text. And 476 for the number of rides. It calculates the average fare on its own. So we need to add in how much money we made. So 29,583. Enter. There we go. Now, it says add a total row to the gold accounts table using the total row arrow and create a sum in cell F9. Okay. So to create a total row, what we need to do is actually go to the Design tab. Okay. And there's a nice little button right here. Just click on Total Row. All right. It adds it right to the bottom. Now it says we need to add a sum in cell F9. Okay, so we have F9, which is right here. I can easily just go to the Home tab and click Auto Sum once, and it automatically populates that number for me. Okay. All right, so it says switch to the silver worksheet. Now I'm going to move this over here, down at the bottom, by just selecting the 3 dots and moving this so we can see the rest of our sheets here. Now it says we need to delete the duplicate records in the silver accounts table. So what we find here is that if we look, we can see that Preston Pharmacies 2009 has been entered twice. Okay, so if we go to the Design tab again, we have a button that says Remove Duplicates. We're going to click on that. Okay, just leave everything selected and click OK. It says 1 duplicate found removed. Okay, great. It's removed it. You can see there's only 1 now. It says filter the silver accounts table on the area column to show records south of downtown. Okay. So to select just south of downtown, we need to click the Select All button, click the South of Downtown button, which is what they want, and click OK. And that's all we have left. That's all we need. Now it says go to the bronze worksheet. On the bronze worksheet, select range B3 to H11. So B3 to H11. And format the range as a table with headers using table style medium 14. Okay, so we have a button right here in our styles called Format as a Table. Medium. It looks like there's about 7, so I'm guessing this is, yep, this is 14, table style medium 14. It does have headers, so I'm just going to click OK. And now it looks like every other one that we've used, which is great. Okay, the table should include a total row. All right, so select anywhere in here, and we're going to click on our Design tab, Total Row. Sum in F12, which is consistent with the rest of ours, so we can go to Home and click Sum. And then name the table Bronze Accounts. So click here, I go back to my Design tab, and just name this Bronze Accounts. No space, hit Enter. Now it's saved. If you can see every time we go, it says Bronze Accounts. And then it says use the filter and button cell H3 to sort the table by value largest to smallest. Okay, so H3, just select this button, largest to smallest. We can see the biggest to the smallest now. And we're all done. I hope you guys did well with this, and I look forward to seeing your work.